Allô, Nissan? Hey, grosse tempête, hein?
Hey, Karine, oui, je sais, les vilains bonhommes de neige sont de retour.
Mais avec le Nissan Rogue à traction intégrale, c'est pas stressant.
Exact, il est conçu et testé pour nos hivers. Oh, Karine, il y a un bonhomme dans le Rogue.
Ah, c'est correct. J'ai allumé les sièges chauffants.
Ah, bien joué, Karine. Maîtrisez toutes les conditions. Louez le Rogue S 2026 à partir de 0,4% jusqu'à 36 mois, incluant une réduction fidélité de 0,5% pour les clients Nissan admissibles. Jusqu'au 2 mars, sur approbation de crédit, les conditions s'appliquent. Détails chez Nissan.
Yes, indeed. Our Friday in Transit edition is one that I am particularly interested in. True story, I learned how to ride a bike in my 30s. I did not know how to ride a bike, and then got a couple of friends for my birthday. What'd they do? They surprised me with a bike. And they said, you're going to learn how to ride a bike. And that's how I finally got to learn how to ride a bike. But I know for a lot of people, you may see all the bike paths coming up and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that. And if you're an adult and you've wanted to learn how to ride a bike, hey, you got a solution here. And what is it like to learn to ride a bike as an adult? Let's talk to two people doing that, involved in that right now. Magali Bebronne is a board member and volunteer at Culture Velo. And Razan Elkhatib is learning how to ride a bike with Culture Velo. I'd like to welcome both of you on air. Magali, Razan, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Razan, let's start with you. Tell us your story. Why are you learning to ride a bike now? And tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm from Sudan, and I have been living there for all my life, and there are people they don't use to bike a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So especially girls, there is a lot of social boundaries. So I didn't use the bike, except in some video games, maybe.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And how long have you been? How long have you been in Canada?
It's 1 year now. I arrived last summer.
And Razan, I you don't have to answer this question, but can I ask you how old you are?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, that's great. Listen, I learned how to ride a bike in my mid-30s, so you know what? I got nothing on that.
Wow.
So Razan, you're here. Obviously, you're in Montreal. You see that we're we're getting even more of a bike culture in this city. And is that what led you to say, hey, I want to learn as well? What made you say, okay, I'm 28, I want to learn how to ride a bike?
Yeah, when I arrived here, I felt so surprised that everyone here is passionate of biking, and I felt like people are so professional doing some moves in the streets, and I felt like I want to try that.
Amazing. Magali, let's get to you and your side of this. I guess, was this something that was demanded? At Culture Velo, were you just hearing stories? Were people reaching out? Why did you start to offer a program to help adults learn how to ride bikes?
Well, we used to do it. We actually did it the last 2 years. We even had a summer job given to a person to coordinate volunteers, to pair them with people who wanted to teach. This year, as our structure is really small, we felt we couldn't really supervise someone, and we weren't going to do it. But then we started seeing all these requests popping up from people who said, well, I can't ride a bike. Do you know where I could go? Who could teach me? And so I said, okay, we need to make it happen no matter what. And so I pulled out the list of old volunteers. I made a call to on Facebook to friends who cycle to find volunteers so we could pair them with people who are willing to learn. And most of them are women.
And do you find that there is a stigma? Do you find that for a lot of people this is a big leap to say, okay, I'm an adult, I'm going to do this?
Well, that's what I've heard from several people, that they have a sense of shame and that, they feel like they're going to be, there is some stigma around that and maybe a lack of confidence too. So I feel learning to ride a bike is a lot about confidence. You need to trust yourself that you're going to be able to make it. You need to be able to pick up speed because with speed comes balance. But if you don't dare take a little bit of speed and look up, that's when you're going to fall. So it just takes a little bit of bienveillance from somebody, a cheerleader along your side who tells you, go and give little technical tricks. And one thing we do actually is we kind of use the same technique as we do for children. We take up the pedals on a regular adult bike, so we actually turn it into a balance bike. And that's how we do the first steps of learning the balance.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard that is one way to do it. Take off those pedals as a first step. We're with Magali Bebronne. That's the voice you just heard. She's board member and volunteer at Culture Velo, along with Razan Elkhatib. She is learning how to ride a bike. Razan, where are you right now? What's your progress? How is it going in your bike riding?
So I'm in the first month of learning now, and I'm already using my bike to go to work and coming back.
Wow.
So yeah, like my work is just about 7 minutes from my home, so it's not a very long ride. But it helps me like to practice and like just to go in small streets.
And are you, when you go to work, are you going on the road, or is it all bike path?
Oh, yes, it's in the road actually. Like there is no bike path here, but sometimes I go to ride past bike passes in Villeray, so I can practice also.
Razan, you got guts. You got so much guts. I don't have the guts to go on the road. Like I'll go to the park where they've got the bike path along like the lakeshore, but I will not, like if there's a car around, I don't have the guts to do that yet, and so
like we have to do it. I think we have to challenge ourselves to do something. So I remember when I fell the first time, I felt like a relief that I was so scared to fall, and then when I felt like I'm okay, and I'm gonna keep going. So.
And can I ask you this? What about that moment? Can you take us to the moment when you're that first time where everything clicked and you were riding a bike? How did that feel?
So in the beginning, I felt like so desperate that maybe I'm not gonna do it, or it's so difficult, and like the first two lessons, maybe I felt like not confident yet. But then when you just get to keep your balance and you learn how to move the bike, I think from that moment, like you can just keep going on.
Wow. Listen, Razan, congratulations. I'm so happy that it's going well for you and you're already headed to work on your bike. Magali, let's talk about, what's the message to adults who are listening to us? They want to learn how to ride a bike. What do you say to someone, an adult, that wants to learn, and how can they get involved with your group or other resources on how to learn?
Well, they can contact Culture Velo, and we'll try and find somebody to pair them with. We try and find people who, have the same level and who are going to be well paired and have the level of confidence or patience that it takes. But please don't miss out on that. It's such a joy to be biking. You know how magical it is to see a child ride a bike for the first time and the look of delight on their face. Well, it's exactly the same for adults, and it will really be a pity that you don't go for it. We have a wonderful summer. We have more and more bike lanes that are protected, where you can actually go from A to B entirely protected from traffic. So now is really the time to get on your saddle and get pedaling.
One last quick question, Magali. So where do you do the training? Where do you do the teaching? Is it in parking lots? Where do you get that done?
So Culture Velo has 2 containers. It's actually a bike shop offering mechanic services. 2 containers in Parc Jarry, and that's where we have the bikes that are perfect for practicing. So ideally, if people don't have their own bikes, we'll tell them to come to Parc Jarry and practice from there. There's a lot of action, but at least there are no cars.
Yes.
So but you still have to learn to interact with pedestrians and all these other road users. So that's where we do the lessons, and then when people are ready, then we can move on the street.
Magali Bebronne is board member and volunteer at Culture Velo, and Razan Elkhatib just learned how to ride a bike and is already going to work on her bike. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.